Stephanie Petty Rodriguez, certified breastfeeding specialist, mom of 3 kids, and registered nurse. So I am coming at you today with this No Nonsense Monday, and we are talking about the bread and butter of lactation, which is making more milk. So you log on to Facebook and you go to any mom group, and there's always going to be a mom, at least one mom, who is looking for help increasing her milk production, increasing her milk. You'll see lots of moms on there asking, how did you guys increase your milk production? I'm pumping, I'm feeding my baby. And you will mostly see recommendations that involve Gatorade, mother's milk tea, oatmeal, flax, lactation cookies, stuff like this. And those suggestions are all great. I'm not discounting any of that, but you rarely see the number one way that you're going to increase your milk production, which is supply and demand. So before we get into that, the first thing I would want to know is, why do you need to increase your milk production? Is your baby losing weight? Are your breasts feeling softer and not firm and not full? Did you stop leaking milk? Did you notice some things like that? Are you not pumping enough? And what is enough, right? Is enough just as much as your baby will drink? Or did you truly ask your pediatrician or lactation consultant, how much milk should my baby be getting? Are you really looking at the growth charts? So all of those things need to be taken into account when we're talking about making more milk, right? It shouldn't just be that you feel like you're not making enough milk and so you want to increase your production, because it's such a pain in the butt to try to increase your production. So let's start there. Why are you thinking that you're not making enough milk? If the answer is, my breasts don't feel full, I'm no longer leaking, those are normal things that happen even at like 4 weeks postpartum. Your breasts might not feel super full. Your breasts might not leak. That's actually normal. That's fine. Count your blessings. If your baby is gaining weight, peeing and pooping appropriately, and following a growth curve, your baby is fine and you're making enough milk and you don't have to stress about it. If you want to make more milk because you are pumping and you feel like you're not pumping enough, or you're having a dip in your supply that you can see through pumping, a few things could be at play. One is that you might just be somebody who doesn't respond well to the pump, which is possible. A pump does not pull as much milk from your breast as a baby. It doesn't. The baby is much more effective at emptying the breast than a pump ever will be. So sometimes a pediatrician will tell you, oh, don't feed the baby at the breast for the next 24 hours and just pump every 3 hours for the next 24 hours, and then we'll see how much milk you make. For some women, that will show you how much milk you make, but for plenty of other women, that's absolutely zero indication of how much milk you're making, because the baby is more effective at emptying the breast. And that's also a great way to kind of decrease your milk supply, which you're already concerned about, is to just stop breastfeeding your baby and only pump for 24 hours or however long. A lot of pediatricians, they jump the gun on that. So that's not a great indicator of how much milk you're making. And also, if you feel like your baby is genuinely losing weight, the first thing that you should do is contact your pediatrician and contact a lactation consultant, okay? You need a one-on-one consultation. You need someone to look at you. You need someone to look at the baby. You need someone to look at how the baby is latching and how you guys are doing. Another thing is, if you are someone who has woken up between 2 and 4 months postpartum and suddenly you are experiencing a serious drop in your milk, the reason why could be if you had extended the amount of time between feeds. So if you are going 3+ hours between feeds, there's a good chance that around 2 to 4 months you're going to have a serious dip in your milk supply, because you have sent a message to your body telling it to no, slow down every time you wait that 3+ hours. Okay, you're sending that message to your body that you don't need to make more milk. Whereas moms who breastfeed more frequently are going to have a consistent milk supply, more milk. And when the baby is going through a growth spurt, they're going to make even more milk. So, don't do that, okay? So when your baby is born, it's really tempting to also go on those Facebook mom groups and say, how do I get my 4-week-old baby to sleep longer? I'm exhausted. And you're exhausted. You're like, I need to take care of my other children. It's really tiring, but resist the urge to get your baby to sleep all night before, even like 6 months of age, because your milk supply is not super established yet, okay? If your baby is 2 months old and you're looking to try to get them to sleep all night, you're going to be that mom on the Facebook group who's going to be asking about increasing your milk supply. They just don't vibe together, okay? Getting your baby to sleep longer, making more milk, they don't go together. I'm sorry. It's a hard truth, but it is the truth nonetheless.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
So, what you want to do is start off on the right foot. So all you new moms or moms to be, the minimum that your baby should be feeding is 8 to 12 times per day. That works out to a minimum of every 2 to 3 hours. That doesn't mean 3.5 hours. That doesn't mean 3 hours. It means 2 to 3 hours. Ideally, you're going to be feeding your baby every 2 hours, and sometimes more. My last video, we talked about cluster feeding. Cluster feeding has its place in this relationship with your baby. Cluster feeding is going to help your milk supply increase during a time where the baby is growing, going through a growth spurt. So it has its place in this relationship with you guys, okay? So the number one way that you're going to increase your milk supply is supply and demand. And what does that mean? It means the more you empty your breast, the more milk your body is going to make. The more you demand that milk, the more it's going to be supplied. So again, if you're encouraging your baby to sleep a 6-hour stretch at night and your baby is 2 months old or 1 month old, yes, you're getting some sleep, but you're also sacrificing your milk production. You are. So making sure that at least in the beginning, the first few months of breastfeeding, you are breastfeeding that baby every 2 to 3 hours. If you are doing that and you have a good milk supply and your baby is growing and everything is going really well, you don't have any need to increase your milk supply. You're just going to give yourself another job. And we already know being a mom is a hard enough job, and breastfeeding is already a huge commitment. Don't put too much on your plate, okay? Just roll with it and just trust your body and trust that your baby is getting enough. If you're someone who's going back to work or who is in work and you are pumping and your baby is drinking more than you are producing with the pump, a few things need to happen. So first of all, the person or people who are taking care of your baby, are they giving your baby too much milk? Are they giving your baby too much breast milk? That is something that you need to figure out. A great website that you can figure out how much milk your baby should be getting in a bottle is Kelly Mom. You can even just Google Kelly Mom, and they really break it down for you really nicely, how many ounces per day your baby should be getting. Does your 2-month-old or 3-month-old baby need a 6-ounce bottle of breast milk every time they're getting fed every 2 to 3 hours? No, they don't. So don't stress yourself out trying to make that. Another thing that you can look up is pace feeding, okay? Pace feeding is where you hold the bottle basically like horizontally and make that baby work for that milk. The milk just flows out of the bottle just so fast and so easily, and these babies have a really strong suck. They are guzzling down that bottle really quickly. You want to slow that down so that they actually get full. So that's another thing to look up. So the way someone is feeding your baby your breast milk could be affecting how much they're feeding throughout the day. And that doesn't mean that the baby needs all that breast milk, right? Like, I don't need 20 chicken nuggets, but if you give me 20 chicken nuggets, I'll probably take them to the house, okay? So don't judge me. And that could be why your baby is drinking all that milk. It's there, it's available, the baby's gonna drink it, okay? And another thing that you wanna look out for is the fact that the pump is not gonna make as much is not going to pull as much milk, like I said, as the baby's going to pull. Okay, so don't stress yourself out. Some things that you can do while you're pumping to increase your production, to encourage the letdown, is number one, sit down, don't work while you pump, don't answer calls, don't stress yourself out by looking at politics on Facebook. Sit down, relax, okay? Maybe look at a picture of your baby, a video of your baby that you keep with you on your phone. That's a great way to, build up that oxytocin, those feelings of love and cherishing your baby. Think about how much you love your baby. Don't make yourself sad and cry. I definitely did that in work. Anyway, look at pictures of your baby, relax, okay? Take a few seconds to deep breathe, take a few deep breaths. And another thing you want to do is when you put the pump on, do a breast massage, okay, to encourage all of the milk that's all over. I mean, you even can have milk like back here. So do a breast massage, be gentle with yourself, love yourself, okay?
I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins. I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my moms. I like my sisters.
And encourage more of that milk to come out. Some people use heat to the site, can be encouraging for milk to flow out. And after you're done, there's no more milk coming out, wait a couple more minutes and continue to pump, because that's going to encourage your body to make more milk and not just the milk that came out. And if you're still going and you're like in a rush and all this stuff, that could be another reason why you're not making as much milk. Maybe you have suspended your production by not encouraging all of your milk to be emptied. So you want to get as much milk as you possibly can in that sitting. So another way that you can increase your milk production is by power pumping. Power pumping is when you feed your baby, okay, and you then put your pump on after you have fed the baby and the baby has emptied the breast, and you just leave that pump on for 10 minutes after you've already fed your baby. No milk could be coming out, and that's totally fine. You could get one single drop of milk, and that's totally fine. That's not the point. The point is you're telling your body, we need more milk. There's no milk in here, and we're asking for it. So you're asking your body to make that milk, and it's going to cause a reaction, the supply and demand. Your body's going to say, okay, well, I guess this chick wants more milk, so I guess we're going to have to make some more milk. Okay? Do galactagogues, which are the mother's milk tea, the supplements that you take, do those help? Yeah, they can help. They can help. They should not be your first go-to, okay? Sometimes they interfere with medications. Some people have bad side effects to them. There is a place for galactagogues. It is not the first thing that you reach for when you're having supply issues. The first thing you do is the power pumping, recognizing what is normal milk production and what is insufficient milk production. Do you genuinely fall into the category of someone who has insufficient milk production, or do you just want to make more milk? Are you just not understanding the cues that your baby is giving you? So, that is something that should be really told by a lactation consultant for you to take. Okay, the mother's milk tea, yeah, you can take it, you can try it, but you should be trying the other things first or in conjunction to that. Making sure that you're well hydrated, of course. Making sure that you're eating a nutritious, diet. Yes, of course. You should be doing those things anyway. You need to take care of yourself. You've got a baby to take care of. Come on. Will diet and exercise affect my breast milk? I mean, they can. Yeah, I don't think that moms should be on a diet, on a strict diet right after having a baby, despite what we might feel like we're supposed to do, because we're supposed to look like Kourtney Kardashian after we have a baby.
Do I look fat? Just like 20 pounds overweight.
She's on the cover of all these magazines and you feel like a beached whale. Well, you know what? You're fine. The weight will come off if you eat a nutritious diet. Okay, it will come off when it's supposed to come off. Maybe it'll take a year. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 years. I'm still, I still have some baby weight on me, okay? It's been a couple of years. I'm not breastfeeding. I'm not doing anything. And yes, I had chicken nuggets for lunch. Will I ever learn? Probably not. Anyway, so don't severely restrict your diet, okay? Because it could interfere with your milk supply, especially if you're just getting things going and you're getting things established. If it hasn't been 3 months, don't stress about dieting and exercising and this and that. You should not be exercising until you get the okay from your doctor anyway. You should not be restricting your calorie intake because you need extra calories. You need 500 extra calories a day to make milk, okay? That is more than you were supposed to eat when you were pregnant. What do you think about that? So you are working really hard. Your body is working really hard already. Just feed your body nutritious, healthy food. Really up the water intake. You want to drink a Gatorade before you pump? Drink a Gatorade before you pump. Again, it shouldn't be the first and only thing that you try to increase your supply. I hope that this has been helpful. Tune in next week. We will have a new topic. If you think of a topic or there's some burning question that you have, please reach out to me, comment, like, share, and have yourself a wonderful week.